Vinny Magalhaes, he's another guy that terrorizes you on Twitter. I mean, do you listen to these guys when they hit you up on Twitter and fans are tweeting for him?
You got to get through that little miserable guy that makes the fights. You get through him and you get in the UFC. I mean, if you look at when Tim Sylvia was in the heavyweight division, I say it all the time. It's when we had the weakest heavyweight division in the company's history. You know, him and Arlovsky were knocking each other out every weekend. It's just, you know what I mean?
And then Couture came along and saved us all.
Yeah. So, you know, and nothing. I have no beef with Tim Selby or whatever. You know, the guy's out there trying to make a living and doing what he's doing. But I mean, for him to make the claim he knock out 80% of the heavyweights in the UFC, you know, he like I said, what I just said before says it all.
Quick, Gustavo Nogueira, that would probably stay 3 rounds, right? Even though that's FX, because bouts are signed and bout agreements are signed.
Yeah, once the bout agreements are signed, it is what it is.
And one last thing, Gary Goodridge. Did you hear the news about Gary Goodridge this week?
I did this morning.
What are your thoughts on that? Is it concerning at all? I mean, obviously he did a lot of kickboxing in K1 and stuff too.
I think that's what he said in the article.
Yeah.
It was due to K1 and the kickboxing that he did. Listen, there's no doubt, man. It's proven, and it happens to different people. When you're involved in either boxing or kickboxing, you take a lot of shots. You take a lot more shots than you do in mixed martial arts. We have like a 20-year history now in the UFC and in mixed martial arts where you don't see as much head damage as you do in these other sports. But this isn't kickball.
Does that lend some credence to like when you're stepping in and telling guys like, hey, people bully you sometimes, say, hey, who is he to tell somebody to retire?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I am the guy that tells you to retire, and it's one of the things about us. The other thing is what we do is in a lot of other companies in the past. I'm going to say every company in the past, all of them, don't do the medical things that we do. We go above and beyond. We know exactly what's going on with our fighters before, during, and after a fight. These guys get CAT scans, MRIs, all this stuff. Think that shit's cheap? It's very expensive, but we do it. It's the safest sport in the world when you know you've got 2 healthy athletes stepping in the octagon to compete against one another. All these other companies in the past didn't do any of this shit because it's very expensive. We do. We know exactly where our guys are. And like I said, when we get to the point, where I think a guy has been knocked out too much or whatever the case may be, unfortunately, I'm the guy that's going to tell you to retire. Because sometimes people are too tough for their own good. Or unfortunately, there's a lot of people who haven't done the right things with their money and they still need to stay in the sport. But that's not my problem. I'm not going to watch you get hurt here in the UFC or later on after you're done. I told you guys, I'm not going to make $1 of that kind of money. I don't want it. Don't want it.
Dana, changing tacks a little, we're through the Fuel TV event now and Japan's coming up, so how is the business looking in Japan right now? How's the local media treating UFC? How is it overall?
So far, so good. Well, I mean, we won't really know till we get on the ground there and start working, but it's about, do I think this is going to be a pride event and 100,000 people are going to show up and it's going to be good? No, I don't think that. I think that we're, there is a fan base there for you. People keep asking me, "Oh, will you play the Pride music? Will you do?" No, this isn't Pride. It's the UFC. The UFC is coming to Japan, and what the people in Japan are going to see is what they see on television. If they're UFC fans, and we're going to slowly try to build that market back up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the octagon. It's not ropes. It's a cage. It's not ring ropes. Yeah. So.
And there's no pro wrestlers, and you aren't going to see some 400-pound dude fighting a 100-pound dude. None of that stuff's going to happen. The UFC is going to go in there, and we have fans there already. Those fans are going to show up, and the one thing that I know is whether we put on a Fuel fight in Omaha, Nebraska in front of 7,000 people, or we do a 56,000-seat arena in Toronto, we put on one of the best live shows there is in sports. And we're going to go in there and hit that market like we do every other market, and people are going to leave that arena that night, and they're going to have seen a great show.
Now, it seems like there's a couple of fighters on the roster who have been hanging on just for the Japan show, guys like Gomi and Akiyama. If they don't get big wins, what's their future after that?
I don't know. We'll see what happens. Again, I go fight by fight, so we'll see what happens.
Okay.
You guys done with me? All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.